stealth fighter war brewing in India. Putin debuts Sukhoi Su-57 at Aero India. Trump sends F-35 back to the show. US-Russia war for Indian deal next. Big buzz, but is India even remotely interested? Fifth generation fight over India. This week on Battleground. Is there a brand new fighter jet war brewing in Indian airspace? Ladies and gentlemen, the upcoming Aero India show in Bengaluru in February is shaping up to be the playing field for what could be an enormous mother of all battle royales. With Russia set to bring its Su-57, Sukhoi Su-57 stealth fighter to the event for the first time, and the United States returning an F-35 for a second consecutive showing, the airspace over India appears to be the new theatre of a competition between the two air-powered giants, US and Russia. At stake is a potential arms deal that both Moscow and Washington are now maybe viewing as lucrative and strategically significant with their close partner, India. The thing is, India doesn't have a stealth fifth-generation fighter viewer. The most modern aircraft in the Indian Air Force currently is the Rafale, which is a fourth-generation fighter. India has a long-standing commitment to developing its own fifth-generation fighter called the AMCA and has so far resisted the idea of importing stealth fighters from the US or Russia. But by sending their fighters to the Aero India show this year, could the two superpowers be preparing to face off and raise the pressure to sway New Delhi's historic stance? India has long avoided the idea of importing stealth fighters for several very, very good reasons, the foremost being its commitment to self-reliance in defense technology and operational sovereignty. For such future-ready aircraft, why should we depend on another country? We should build our own. The AMCA program is at the heart of a homegrown stealth fighter effort. A direct import of stealth fighters would undermine this goal, particularly given that India envisions the AMCA as a long-term solution to its air power needs. India has also carefully maintained its strategic autonomy in this particular space of next-generation fighters, avoiding over-dependence on any single foreign supplier so far. Purchasing the F-35, if it ever is made into an offer, would likely come with interoperability demands tied to the US defense systems, potentially complicating India's long-standing defense ties with Russia. On the other hand, acquiring the Su-57 from Russia could lead to fresh concerns about reliability and delays, given India's previous hesitations regarding the involvement in the earlier Russian-Indian fifth-generation fighter program, which was eventually scrapped due to cost overruns and concerns over technology transfer. Despite India's clear policy against importing fifth-generation fighters, both Russia and now the US are sensing an opportunity amidst shifting geopolitical realities. Two key factors are driving this: India's ongoing delays in the AMCA program and China's recent rapid developments in stealth aircraft technology. The risk of a prolonged capability gap, especially if Chinese aircraft could easily pass into Pakistani hands, has opened the door for external players like the US and Russia to make their case now for a stopgap solution, and that's why both are sending their fighters to the Aero India show. Russia has been the first to capitalize on this by floating the idea of India acquiring the Su-57 as an interim measure before the AMCA becomes operational at the end of the decade. Given India's past defense collaboration with Russia and its existing fleet of Su-30 fighters, Moscow likely sees this as a logical extension of their defense ties. However, India has thus far remained non-committal, wary of getting locked into long-term dependencies, which it is actually trying to get itself out of. The US, seeing Russia's overtures, is also carefully positioning itself. And after all, it's the new Trump administration which is being especially aggressive. While Washington has not formally offered the F-35 to India yet, recent diplomatic engagements suggest it may be laying the groundwork for such a possibility. India's increasing defense cooperation with the US, including recent deals for MQ-9B drones and discussions on engine co-development for the AMCA program, indicate a deeper military-industrial relationship. Some analysts believe the US may propose the F-35 as a deterrent against China, leveraging India's growing security concerns to break New Delhi's traditional reluctance. Now, despite this aggressive overture from both Russia and the US, it remains to be seen whether India will abandon its commitment to the AMCA in favor of importing stealth fighters. I personally am dead against it. However, a potential compromise could emerge in the form of technology transfers and joint development initiatives. India may be open to limited acquisitions or collaborative ventures that accelerate AMCA's development timeline rather than outright procurement of either the Russian or American fighter. No matter what, as Aero India 2025 approaches in the next few days, the presence of both the Su-57 and the F-35 at the show signals a new phase in great power competition over India's defense market.